Hey, good morning, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. Brian the Divine Healer here with you. Not going to do your reading. That's right. Obviously, because you could read the title, since you might want to sit down for this. So, probably aren't going to want to sit down. So, grab your coffee, get yourself comfortable, because we're going to get hot. Okay. So, let me do this. I'm not going to grab my little sheet like normal, but I'm going to grab my handy dandy notebook. Okay. So I woke up this morning, I was in a really good mood. I just had this weird feeling, right? So then I was like, I gotta put this together, okay? So then I had these thoughts, right? And these thoughts led to me due to research, and the research led me to be here with y'all right now. Okay, so this is what we're doing. So I'm shining on my glasses, get those ready, you know what I'm saying? So where do we begin? Yeah. As you probably can tell with my notebook, there's going to be a lot. Okay. So, like you said, buckle up, pet the rock. Let's get ready to do this. All right. So, in my other videos that I put out there for my title, you might want to sit down for this. I bring revelations to humanity for the truth. And the truth is in healing. Okay. That is all that particular part that I really enjoy is that healing part, okay? And that healing is in truth. Okay, so let's get to this. Drink my coffee. Okay. So where do we begin? We're going to begin right here. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the calendar, okay? The calendar. So now, when you think of the calendar, right? It's 12 months, right? January to December. That, my friends, is the Gregorian calendar. Okay, that is what we go by. That is actually kind of bogus. It really is. I'm going to tell you why it's bogus. Because it's actually 13 months. What do you think about that? It's actually 13 months and 28 days in each month. Okay. And so how I'm coming up with that idea is because ancient Mayans had a calendar that was very similar to this 13 months, 28 days in each month. Same with ancient Sanskrit, right? That is like Mesopotamia. That is ancient Babylon. That is all that ancient time frame that, really was the start of basically civilization, because they like carved these different kind of, writings and things on clay tablets and things like that, which is really like the first communication, first civilization, yada, 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 blah, 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 right? So we're going off of the Gregorian calendar, which is 12 months. So these other calendars, like I said, Mayan and Sanskrit, are actually close to that 13 months with 28 days in each month. Okay. So let's do a little math. Let me grab my phone. Okay. So if we take the calculator, right, and we go and we multiply 13 months times 28 days, guess what? Shut your face. You see that? 364. 364 days. So there's one extra day. That's the day of actual Easter. That is the day of beginning. That is a new beginning. If you think about it, it's springtime, right? Spring. Spring does what? Makes the flowers grow, the grass grow. Most babies are born in the spring. It's all that resurrection, right? Easter, resurrection. So technically, my friends, the first day of the calendar month, not the first day, the first month of the calendar is April. Let me keep going into this, okay? So let me give you some examples of what some shit really means as far as the months, okay? So we're going to just take September, okay? So September is what? The 9th month in the Gregorian calendar? Of course it is, right? That's what we go off of. But what does sept, S-E-P-T, mean? Sept. Well, it means 7. The word sept means 7. Let me dig into my research here. Okay. So in music, why? Why what? I don't know. I said a bunch of things. What do you mean, why? I thought you were on the road. Okay. So sept means 7. So in music, the 7th chord, okay, that's sept, means 7. Let's get into October. October is what? The 10th month? No, really not. So if you think of an octagon, right? Let's go back to like elementary school for here a second, right? You think of October, octagon. An octagon has what? 8 sides. Hey, Dora, what do you think about this in your notebook? Well, octagon is 8 sides. It means 8. So October means 8. Let's do November. November. This is a good one. November means 9. Okay. So Middle English, Novembre, from Anglo-French, Latin means 9th. 9th. And also was used by the early Roman calendar. From Novem, N-E-V-E-M, Novem means 9. What? This is so confusing. What are you talking about? Calendars and 13 months and 28 days equals 364 days. What? Let's get to just the last month I hear is December. December is supposed to be the 12th month, right? Wrong. Dec for December. December, right? Deca is a Latin for decante. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering the Latin language, but that means 10, my friends. It means 10. 10. Why are we doing this to ourselves and believing the crap that we're believing? Because all these things mean exactly what they mean. Sept means 7. Octagon is 8. You know? So here we are being tricked into this calendar, 12 months, and Jesus's birthday was in December and all this other stuff. But it's wrong, because the first month of this calendar is supposed to be April. Okay. So 13 is kind of a very, superstitious number. You find me a building that has 13 floors, and I'll give you $10 right now. You all know that like Friday the 13th. Oh my God, that's such a scary number. 13. That's so like superstitious. Oh my God, stay away from that, right? Let me give you a little fact on the actual what that means. Okay. You've heard of Friday the 13th, right? Ooh, that's like bad juju, right? Ooh, watch out. You know? No. 13th, Friday the 13th was actually the day. I'm not exactly sure of the Pope or the king, whoever this punk is, back in maybe I think the 15th century, something like that. Don't quote me because I didn't do those facts. This is just ad lib from what knowledge I already know. Okay, so on Friday the 13th, let's back this story up a tiny bit. Okay, there was this, I think, King of France, maybe the Pope, some shit, right? He was borrowing money from the Knights Templars. He was. Because the Knights Templars were the first ones to institute the banking system. Why? Because they were protectors of what? The people that would go to Jerusalem. And so in this path, the Knights Templars would protect these people going on their journey to Jerusalem. So they obviously were carrying money and things like that. So what they did was they would get with the Knights Templars, put the money together, they would write it down like a bank account. You know what I'm saying? You got so much money in this, whatever. Anyways, so in some way, the Knights Templars became rich. They really did. They got rich. So, like I said, I'm not sure it was the king or the Pope. I think it was the king. Borrowed money. right? And then so he didn't want to pay it back. So said time, said century, whatever, but on Friday the 13th, this person sent his whole army to go find every single Knights Templar and destroy them, kill them, burn them at the stake, yada, 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 blah, 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 right? So that is where we come up with Friday the 13th. Why did I talk about this? Because 13 is this imperative number that everybody is afraid of. Oh my God, 13 is such a superstitious number. But no, it's not. Because here I just told you, back in other ancient calendars like the Mayans and the Sanskrits, there's 13 months and 28 days. 1 day remaining, because I did the math. 13 times 28 is 364. You have 1 day left. That 1 day is Easter. That 1 day is represented in what for Easter? The resurrection of Christ. That is the beginning of spring. That is when, like I said, babies and flowers and all that things, boom. So now let's keep going into this. 13, there is 13 constellations. There is 13 constellations, believe it or not. It's true. Scientists know this. They just don't like to say it because of that. 13 is a magic number. The magic number is that 13 is the truth of things, like 13 months in the calendar, not 12. There's no such thing as leap year. So fake, like in the other videos I did about Halloween, trick or treat, Christmas. It's all pagan rituals. And this is part of that. Okay, so 13 constellations. The one missing one that we don't ever talk about, my handy dandy notebook. I don't know how to pronounce this right. It's Ophiuchus. Ophius, I guess. It's been a long time since I've been in school, okay? Which is the actual 13th zodiac, right? Is the serpent holder. Virgo harvest time. I hear you, like 1 more day to the full moon, right? Oh my God, better run. So by the way, I don't do readings on full moons, just saying. So yeah, I gotta prepare myself for the energies that come, and I gotta thwart them, you know what I'm saying? So pat the rock, charge my rocks, all that stuff. Anyways, so 13th zodiac, right? This constellation is actually in between the constellations of Scorpio and Sagittarius. This 13th constellation. It's not a zodiac sign, by the way. It's really not. But this Ophius, I don't know how to pronounce it, whatever. It means serpent holder, okay? So it's actually opposite of Orion. So Orion's over here, and this other constellation's over here. And Orion is the man with the hunt, the hunter with the bow, right? If you've ever seen the way the constellation looks and the way they draw the little pictures, it looks like the hunter, because that's what it is. And so it's the opposite of that. So then you have the serpent holder, which the way the stars are drawn looks like a dude holding a snake. Serpent holder. That is the 13th constellation. So people, this constellation runs, like I said, between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So the dates are from November 30th through the 18th. Why do we not use this? Well, in tarot, it's definitely not a zodiac sign. So then we don't implement that for the readings and things like that. And a lot of people don't say that they're born under this constellation because it's technically not a zodiac sign. You know what I'm saying? So, why is it that we're celebrating 12 months in the holiday when everybody else past us, even the Romans, were using 13 months in the calendar for 28 days? Because it's all trickery of the devil. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm really not sorry, but not sorry. It's that person that has that big old place in Rome that is a sovereign nation. Why are you going to make yourself a church that's a sovereign nation? And then you have the Swiss Guard protecting you. What is that? Because they're bogus. They're hiding the truth from us, my friends. Like this idea of 13 months. They also changed the Bible. It's proven with the Council of Nicaea. It was like some pope that was like, hey, guess what? We found all these ancient documents called the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were actually lost Bible texts, ancient original texts. The Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene. Who's Mary Magdalene? Well, that was Jesus' wife. Are you kidding me? So we got to do something about this, my friends. We have to change this society that we live in, because we're living all under this false, fake pretenses of who set it up? Well, the ones that have 1.7 million followers. I can't with that. It's so fake. It's so bogus, because obviously these months mean something. December, Deca, means 10. October, octagon, 8. That is really the truth that they're hiding from us. So what are we going to do? We got to change it. We got to go back to the regular calendar. We got to get rid of these holidays. I'm sorry. I mean, I really am, because Halloween is a pagan practice. And if you're Christian, believe in God, you can't be following pagan ways. But it's unbeknownst to us. We have no idea about this. We were born and bred into this crap, and that's how they do it. They trick us from a young age to think that this is okay to celebrate Halloween, get the candy. And it's a bribe. You're getting the candy. Well, what kid doesn't love candy? So then they put on this scary costume and go trick-or-treating. I can't with that. I really can't. And so we've all been following this practice, unbeknownst to us, that we're actually basically pagan ritual worshipers, man. Like, I cannot deal with that, because that's not my truth. I follow the golden calf. I don't, like I said, past videos, I don't follow any holidays. I don't do that. So, it might have been all right when we had that thing that we all went through for the lockdown. And then they started having this kind of issue where they wanted to tear down all these statues. Is that such a bad idea, though, now that we're really thinking outside the box? We're paying tribute to these people who are dead. So that's like idol worship, isn't it? Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Ulysses S. Grant, all these statues. I mean, even Rocky. I was just kidding. That might be a little too far, but same thing. Idol worship. The Statue of Liberty. Let me talk about that. What's he saying over here, sweet? Tear down. The Georgia Guidestones. That's crazy. They want to bring the population down to a minimum of 500,000 or something like that. What does that even mean? I know, not Rocky, right? Yeah, Adrian. It's hilarious, right? But it's idol worship. No. We're not supposed to do that. If you're a true believer, you're not supposed to do that. Because God's inside of us. The kingdom is inside of us, but also the kingdom is outside of us. Okay? God is a spirit. The spirit dwells within us, and we only are supposed to worship the spirit. And that spirit, my friends, is your intuition. It's what you feel in your gut. That is the divine telling you what's up. You're supposed to worship the spirit. So when you can, good morning, you made it. Yeah, coffee time, baby. That's right. Okay, so yes, these things that we do practice and that we do worship, I mean, it's beyond us because we had no idea. But now that I'm bringing these stuff to your attention, which is all based off of my little handy dandy notebook, which is all what? Facts that I look up, right? Like I said, spirit, right? What is this? I even have the definition. It's a powerful force, invisible, immaterial, motivating force. Thus, unseen force inspires us and encourages us what? To do something, good or bad. That's that little, that little angel on the shoulder on one side, then you got the devil on the other. No, it's this decision of doing what's good or bad. That's why I said, trust your intuition. It's all within us. That is the spirit. That is what we're supposed to worship. Spirits are also feelings. You could tell how somebody feels by what? The look on their face. That's the spirit. So John 8:32 says, and you will know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So let's switch it up a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to talk about frequencies for a second, right? You've ever heard of the 3 degrees of heaven, right? Yeah, right. It's really, they're talking about really vibrations, hertz, frequencies, okay? So there's 3 of them. There's the celestial, that's the heaven. That is also kind of what Earth's frequency is at 432 hertz. And then there's telestra, which is like the mid-heaven. So that is what? 528 hertz. And then you got terrestrial, 633. A couple of videos ago I did where they changed the frequency. And who's they? The FCC, who runs all the TV, all the shit that we work off of vibrations, right? So it used to be at 432 hertz, but they changed it. They turned it up. They turned the frequency up. So when we talk about frequency, that's vibrations. Like I said, these vibrate, this vibrates, this. Everything in this whole entire world, universe vibrates. So when you change the frequencies, now, like I talked about with the bass and the guitar, when you listen to music, when you hear a certain music song, I don't know, say 50 Cent or whatever, right? The frequency is the bass. Boom, 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 right? So guess what? Your body, every single cell in your body now fine-tunes itself to what? That bass. That frequency. So now you're in tune with that music and that vibration. So now sometimes the music slips through our consciousness, goes to the subconscious. And so now that you're in tune to that, you kind of fall prey to the lyrics in your subconscious. Spirit. We have to be very careful of this, people, because they're tuning our frequency to change our spirits, to not let us see who we really are. I don't even want to talk about 5G. That's like Satan hertz. That's 60 hertz or something like that. That's fine-tuned for changing your spirit. You ever notice these days people are cranky and they're depressed and they're just walking around Walmart all like pissed off? It's not because they had a bad day. Well, maybe so, but really, it's because they changed the frequency. So now everybody is vibing at this frequency, which is an intentional change of what our frequency is really supposed to be. I can't even with myself here. So here's a little clue. Okay, I'm good with all the note taking because I really got to the point of where I want to go. Oh, one more point before I get into the other one. The 13, right? Because I was talking about the 13 months, 28 days, 364. The Mayan calendar had the same shit. Sanskrit, even Romans, ancient Romans had the same calendar. Why do we change it? Because they want to change the frequency, change our minds, change our spirits. So then we have 13 constellations. So in this past video, I was kind of just looking at the clock, right? You got, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 12, right? So then if you take these numbers and you parallel them, right? So you go from 12 to 1 is 13. And you go from 11 to 2 is 13. And you go from 10 to 3 is 13. Data, 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 right? It all equals 13 on the clock. Do the math yourself. Check it out. Look at the clock. Go from 12 all the way around. So go 12, 1, 10, 2, it's all 13. That's right. Because you know why? It is television, programming, channel. I mean, this is no joke, people. This is straight up facts. This is how they change our spirit, our frequency, to get us off of our true selves, which is our internal spirit. That is your intuition, that gut feeling. That's the spirit within you that they are wanting to suppress. That's straight work of the devil. Straight work of the devil. So that clock is very interesting with 13. The constellations, 13. These 12 months we live in, but there's really 13 months that everybody has been going off of before those people in Rome decided to change it. Even with that. The Mayan calendar, look that shit up. It's real. It's truth. It's what it is. So that's my notebook. That's my research. That's the things I want to present to you people, because you know why? You guys, like I said, are my family, right? I really care about you guys, and I care about the society we live in, and I care about the world. We need to bring this change. That's great. You should really set boundaries that way, because not only is it that programming that, we're putting ourselves and our children underneath these spells, but it really, your brain is like a magnificent thing, okay? And so if it can be affected by different frequencies, well, you're damn right you should be shutting that TV off, or pulling the Xbox, or taking away their phone, because you know why? They need to sleep. They need to sleep. If you're running their brain constantly trying to catch up with the 5G or what's on the TV because it changes scene so fast, well, your brain keeps going that way, causing a whole bunch of crazy ass problems, depression, anxiety, all this other stuff, right? It's just crazy. Your kids' moods definitely change, So that's part of what I'm saying, right? I really don't watch TV. I mean, I might watch The Curse of Oak Island on the History Channel, but guess what? That's all about something that's real, tangible. They're digging for gold. They're trying to find the Knights Templar's treasure or some shit like that. That's reality, right? Not watching a TV show and their actors portraying things that really aren't real because they're acting. Oh, I love that. You put that word together. That's nice. You know what? Let me write that one down. That's a good one. I got to write that down, my friend, because you know why? I've been trying to have everybody figure some stuff out like that. And it's kind of challenging to put those two big words together, Aquarius and Pisces. And now that's genius of that one. Yes, that's fantastic. So I think when I do my titles, and y'all know that how we do this, I'm going to put these little two words into one as being the cusp thing. So I'll do like regular, Taurus, Gemini, but then I'll put that one word together. So, those that know will know. That's freaking hilarious. Yes, getting out in nature is fantastic. You know why? Because the earth, my friends, also has a hertz vibration of that. What was it? 432. I think so. Yeah, I think it's 432. Oh, I got so much notes. I mean, this whole thing is full, and this is my baby notebook. My baby notebook. It's not even the real deal. Yeah, 432. Okay. So when we say go out in nature, Get yourself grounded. Good morning, my friend. How are you? You guys are making it. I love that idea. I'm talking about nature, frequency, talking about a whole bunch of crazy different things because that's how I bring it to you guys, right? So, nature. When you get in nature, when we say go ground yourself, it means turn off your TV, turn off your radio, don't bring your cell phone. Why? Because those are still emitting what? Frequencies, vibrations. Ooh. So when you go out into nature, this beautiful thing we call here nature, right? It's like I'm a weatherman. Yeah, well, today's going to be sunny. And that's crazy. So when you go out in nature and you exclude all these other factors, vibrations, interferences, now your body is away from that. So you're not vibing with those vibrations anymore. You go outside. And now what you're going to do is you're going to tune yourself to Earth's frequency, nature, the 432 hertz. So now when you're in nature, what I mean, if you sit next to a stream and you hear the water trickling, and I mean, do you not feel like just so good? You do. When you're walking through the forest, going on a little trail hike, do you not look at the birds and the trees and you just feel so harmonious? Kind of makes you wonder, right? But the truth is, that is the grounding. You're getting away from these other vibrations to allow your body to be on its natural vibration out there. Hence the word ground yourself. So go stick your feet in some water. Go take a little hiking trail walk. Because now you're getting your body back in tune to where it's supposed to be. Connected. A to the men. Yes. Nature is our patio. Eating breakfast, enjoying the sounds of the earth. That's right. Because that's just the natural frequency of things. That is the natural way of things. And these people, I don't know who they are. They change it on us. Why? Because they want us to fall in line to their doctrines and to their perversions of their mentality. They really do. So it does help if you do go out every day to catch yourself in tune. Oh, I love the beach. I can't wait. It's just about getting warm here. We had like a couple days of 90 degrees. I'm like, yeah. I like the beach, but I got some inner tubes, like the size of an island. It's like a cooler and all this other stuff. I just put it up in the river and I just float the river for hours, like 3-4 hours, just cruising. I might put on a little tunes, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a different vibe. So I'll put on not the music that I regularly listen to. It's like a nature, maybe some kind of meditational vibrations of that 432. And that really tunes us back to Mother Earth. So please take that as really being the truth, because that's what it is, right? The Earth has that actual natural frequency, and they changed it on us. And so now everybody, you ever seen those days of like, oh, the 70s was so great because everybody's all peace and love, man. And the 80s was rocking because it was like a weird kind of unique decade, right? Like the 80s were really cool, but the frequencies all were on a different level back then. Then it got changed. And now you got all this other shit. You got the hate. You got the anxiety. You got the depression. You got people against people. Why? Because it's the frequency change in our natural way of being. And they do that tubing. Yes, I love it. Every summer I'm out there tubing. But I did go whitewater rafting in Colorado, and I did hit I think it was like a class 3. It's kind of scary, but it's still fun. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yes. Solomon, you're right. I'm sorry that, if you had lost somebody. I mean, I lost my mother, I lost my brother, then we had that COVID shit, whatever. So it was pretty rough. So I had to find my way back and really get in tune again, because I was just a wreck. You know what I'm saying? And so, speaking of death, everybody's always sobbing about, "Ooh, they're dead," and all this other stuff, and blah blah blah. And that's unfortunate. It really is. But like when my grandmother died, everybody's snotting over themselves and all this other stuff. And I was like, you know what? Why are we sad? I mean, for one, she's in a better place than we are now, just saying. And for two, like, shouldn't we be remembering like the good times about this person? And not just having that last memory of them sitting in that box looking cold and stiff. You know what I'm saying? So perspective is a huge thing, my friends. We really need to get a better perspective on our lives, right? So, oh, I want to see that. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Checked out the Grand Canyon. I went to Arizona to see the giant crater. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool out there, right? Yeah, I do miss my family and things like that too, but you know, we're all gonna hit that marker one day, right? So let's be the best we can be in this moment, right? In this moment, in the now, okay? Because the way I see things is I live in the now. I really do. Live for now. It sounds a little like, oh, ostentatious and oh my God, you're too intense and all this crap. No. Because if I think about the past, remember how I said if you are looking behind you, you can never see what's in front of you? So when you think of the past, it's like depression. It really is. It's like, oh, you remember those good times? You remember how it was when we were in college, and you remember this and you remember that, and it's not the same way. That's like a state of depression. So when you're reflecting on the past, you're actually making yourself depressed. Yes, living in the present, I really feel, is the way that we're supposed to be living. Freedom. Amen. You guys are in tune for sure. Right? And so now, if we think about that past as being like that depression, let's think about the future. You're going to take a test, and you're worried about taking your test. That's the future, because you have not taken your test yet, so you're worried about your results and how it's going to turn out. Well, now you're giving yourself what? Anxiety. Wondering about, am I going to be able to get this car after you've already applied for it? Or this house, or anything in the future that you want to see for yourself. If you put yourself in that future state, you're actually putting yourself in anxiety, worry. Live in the now. It's great to have goals. It's great to reflect on the past, but don't stay there, because you know why? We have to take a little bit of that past to learn about what's going to be the future. And that all combined is the present. Wow. Stuck like Chuck. Hell yeah, it will. Right? It'll definitely keep you stuck like Chuck. And then be all bummed out. Wait. Why? Why? Whys? I don't want to live in the whys. And I don't want to live in the what ifs. I want to live in the now. And this is what I really do. Right? That's why I minimize a lot of things in my life, like TV. I do love my music. I bought my tunes. I got to say that, because that helps me kind of motivate. So that really changes my frequency. So if I start thinking about the past and it's getting to be a little depressing, what do? We turn on the music, change our mood, change our spirit, change our vibration. This is the trick. This is the technique. This is kind of what I think the pyramids are about. It's like a giant sound chamber, creating this kind of vibration. I mean, it might also affect the way the Earth's poles are, like that. What do they call our force field? That's a whole different topic for another day. But you know what I'm saying? So be very mindful of the idea. Do the work and turn it over. Right. Learn from your past so you don't make future mistakes. And guess what that is? That's living in the present. Right? It's living in the present. Because you're understanding the past to not let it affect your future, so you're kind of like in that middle spot. I mean, you really are. So be wise to what you are intaking in your system, in your spirit. Okay? Frequencies are so important. I mean, even scientists have done experiments on sound frequency. They're like, how the hell they make these giant stones in the pyramids stack like that, right? And everybody has all their theories, right? But scientists have proven they can take an object and surround it by a bunch of little speakers, turn it up to a certain frequency, and make that motherfucker levitate. What? So we can lift things without a sound? That's right. The water crystals too. They did sand. They put a bunch of sand on a little plate, turn on this frequency sound, it vibrated, and all that sand made a very specific pattern. If you think about the pattern of like what a snowflake looks like, this is what it kind of generates and does. It is essentially turning itself into its natural form, its natural shape by the frequency. And they make all kinds of shapes and different things with different sounds. So, sound frequency is that vibration. It's the 5G. It's the Wi-Fi. It's your TV. It's your music. All that has a big time influence on your spirit because it actually changes your chemistry. I mean, it doesn't really change your chemistry, but it really changes the way that you vibrate from a cellular level. And so when they turn these frequencies on to the way they do, well, it's unnatural. So then people start getting sick. Their organs are messing up. Their brain starts frying out because it's the change in the frequency that's unnatural. And because they constantly bombard us with this, we don't need medicine. We don't need pills. We don't need all these things to fix all the problems in the world that we're afflicted by. Alzheimer's, HIV, you name it, we can go down the list. But it's all man-made. Hey, Bill Gates making polio vaccine. What the hell's your problem, buddy? He probably doesn't like a lot of people. He's so arrogant in his own ways that he thinks he's so much money guy that he could just kill off innocent people. And this is what the whole premise is. See what y'all read. On the pyramids, is the circumference at the bottom equal to the distance of the world? You are so correct. It is actually the circumference of the world. The base of the pyramid, when you do the math, it really equals the circumference of the earth. Also, the whole dimensions of the area and the base dimension in like, I don't know, like square inches or some shit equals actually the distance from Earth to the sun. What? And it also represents 365 days. That's why most of these scientists will not tell you, but the archaeologists will tell you that it is called the Pyramid of the Sun. Same thing with the Mayans. They have a pyramid of the sun. The Mayans weren't anybody but Egyptians. Because after the flood, shit got wrecked. So what did they do? Some of the survivors that maybe survived went to another region, created these pyramids, trying to recreate what was already created, which was something about these vibrations. Plants love music. That's why, people say, oh, I don't have a green thumb. Talk to your plant. Touch your plant. Hi, how you doing? You having a good day? Right? It's the vibration that affects this plant. Do a little science experiment. For a few days, have a plant next to your speaker and turn on nothing but trash. Whatever trash is to you, music, right? Could be rock, it could be rap, it doesn't matter. Whatever, a lot of it's trash anyways. I'm not picking on any of the artists, but whatever. It'll definitely change the frequency of this plant. It'll destroy the plant. Now you put on something like Bach or Beethoven for a week with this plant. that bitch is going to grow like crazy, right? Because it's the vibration, it's the frequency, it's the way things are changing. Millimeters, right? Okay, yeah. I took pre-algebra twice in high school, so I'm really not that good at math. I need like I need all my fingers and all my toes to count. Okay, I really do. But if you give me anything science or history, like all day long, I don't need to study. Never really had to. Okay, but you're actually right. It is the millimeters like that, right? And so, isn't that so fascinating? How that is true, right? And people don't know that. It's not a tomb for the pharaohs because there was never one mummy found in that shit. There's no cartouches. There's no hieroglyphics inside there to say who owns this tomb. That's crazy. It's all bullcrap. You know. Music is okay. Music is great. Music. I mean, I love that. I know a lot of random facts too, and this is kind of what I bring to you guys because now my facts are going to be your facts, and your facts are going to be my facts, and now we have a whole bunch of different facts for the real truth. Amen. Right. So music, yes, music. I mean, those that had babies. What does the doctor say? Put on some melodic music, right? Some Beethoven or Bach because that's going to make your kids smarter. It's freaking true. It's so true. I did that with my kids. And they're all like AP classes. I mean, they were when they were, going to school. But I'm saying, genius. I don't know about having a 9-year-old to say, "Hey, Dad, when I grow up, I want to be a thoracic surgeon because I want to give people new hearts." Hey, 9-year-old, where did you get that idea? You're a genius. I mean, most kids don't even know what the word thoracic is. Amazing, isn't it? And so when we do this understanding of what we're living in, what we do, what we eat, what we listen to, most of us don't realize that it affects us on a cellular level, changing the way that you think, changing the way you feel, altering who you're really supposed to be are in your spirit. Worship the spirit, my friends, within you, because the kingdom is within you and outside of you. This coffee is great. Intellectual disability babies, autism, hospice. Hospice has got to be rough. I'm sorry. Hospice is really rough. I'm sorry, but you try to give them that last bit to make them happy. I give you a mad shout out for that. It's got to be worth it in some way to give them that last moment of happiness. Yeah, people feel definitely way more than they think, and to me, that's a foul ball. Super foul ball. How are you going to be like, well, I feel what you're saying is right. Okay, you can feel that all day long. But do you know what I'm saying is right? So that's the difference between thinking and feeling. A lot of people in this world, they think with their emotions. That's why everybody's so testy and so moody and all this other stuff. Because why? They are working off their emotions for their mentality and not their mentality off their mentality. I'm saying it's crazy. Let me see what you got. Let me see what you got. Everything is worth thanking God for, Solomon. For really, it is everything, everything, because He's the creator of everything. For real. I mean, He didn't make this cup, no, but He made the person that He gave the idea to the person to make this cup. So technically, He is the creator, but we are like of His likeness and His image. So maybe God does look like us. Interesting fact. Mm. But His likeness is meaning within us. The Spirit of God is in within us. That could actually make us like gods. So now what are we talking about? We're talking about manifestations. I talked to my daughter yesterday. She's 16. She blew my freaking mind about her mind power and manifestations. What? I was like, you are like your daddy, full show. Telling you. Amazing. It is the very most scariest part of life because everybody's afraid of death. Everybody's afraid of death. And we shouldn't be. I mean, we should almost encourage it. I mean, not encourage it like we're going to be the suicide doctor, but we should not live in fear of death. Why? Because death is resurrection. Because now we have a chance to get out of this kind of realm and choose another one or come back to fix this one. That's what I did. I chose to come back to fix this one. This is why I'm here doing what I do. Seriously. A flight nurse. Wow. That's crazy. Like, I don't mind flying, but it just, I don't know. It just gets me all worried. You could call it a little bit of control issue, I guess. If my feet aren't on the ground or in wheels, I have a problem. It's just like that control thing. But, I learned to let it go a little bit and just go with it. Trust. I got to trust the pilot. I got to trust everybody that's doing their thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, where's that drink cart? Oh, speaking of that, drinking, right? Drinking, just because I mentioned it, right? Do you know why they call it alcohol? They call it spirits. Spirits. Do you know when some people get drunk, they get all happy? Well, they're spirited. And some people get all angry and snotty and whatever. Because it does really do that. It changes who you are. These terms that they use so nonchalantly really has deep, serious meanings, people. It seriously does. Alcohol changes the way that you are as a person. It makes you somebody that you're not. Sometimes when somebody drinks, they're superheroes and now they're going to go tear some shit up. That's changing your spirit. Same thing with TV. It changes your spirit. And we all have gone away from our own spirits because of these influences we live in society. It's crazy. Everybody's journey is a little different. I wish you nothing all but peace and joy. Thank you. Thank you, Lily. Grief is personal. It really is because, you've had that connection with that person. But celebrate their spirit. Celebrate that person for who they were. Not what they become in this state of stillness and, that kind of idea. You definitely can let spirits in, Sarah, for sure. And that's how they do it with TV and music and believing in what? The calendar, the holidays, spirit of Halloween, the spirit of Christmas. Do you not hear these things? Do not we say that? Oh, it's the spirit of Christmas. Well, what spirit is Christmas? I'm not sure if I want to have any pagan spirits around me because that's what really Christmas is. Pagan ritual. So I think I'm all set with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is my giant coffee, right? I ran out of stuff today, so I had to go to the store and get a giant cup. The spirit of coffee. But the Holy Spirit is that's your guide. Okay, that is the one that tells you yay or nay. You shouldn't do this, you should do that, right? And so we all need to live in our own spirit, right? We need to eliminate these things that hold us back from our true, real selves. Because y'all see me sit here and do tarot, and then you're like, how the hell did you know what I did yesterday when you just told me today? It's because I was able to get rid of all these negative influence, these vibrations, these different spirits in me to be my real true spirit, to be able to pick up on this energy. And everybody on this friggin' planet has the same ability. You just got to purge yourself of some stuff, minimize some things, seclude yourself from some of this societal norm that's really not norm. It's not. Just saying. Yeah, I'm really sorry too. I mean, any loss is horrible. It really is, but that's just because we're gonna miss that person. It's like a complacency thing. We get used to being around, our parents, our kids, our grandmother, whoever has passed, and then we miss them because we're not in that same spirit. We don't have that same connection, that energy vibration with them. But see, here's the trick. They never go away. Their physical body leaves, but their spirit stays. That's why we call ancestors spirits of ancestors, because some of your relatives really do hang out with you in spirit, watching over you, guiding you, protecting you, helping you find your journey in your way, which is really to your true self. I always talk about that, the journey to duality. That duality is putting yourself together with your mind and your emotions to what? Become one. Think about a marriage. You have one male, one female. They get married. They're two different people, but when they're married, now there is one. Unity. Putting those two together. So when you put your mind together with your emotions and you're in sync like that, well, guess what? Now you're in your true spirit. You're in your true form as a spirit. Because that's what we are, but just in a fleshy body. Which, by the way, is all held by energy. Which, that's what we call gravity. Our skin ain't holding this together. It's not keeping everything together. It looks that way. But once you take away the energy, the vibration, everything falls apart. You can't get two atoms to stick together without energy, my friends. What do you think we call nuclear fusion? Energy? I don't know, vibration, something like that. Don't let me get onto that. Put messages into words. Yes, it really does. Because you know why? I tell a lot of people, okay, you could sit there and watch my whole hour tarot and be like, none of it fit for me, okay? But did you read the title? The title might be your message. The beginning part of it, the tarot could be the message, the middle could be the message, the end could be the message. Or it could even be some of the shit that I talk about in between. That could be the message. So that's why I try to encourage everybody to watch the entire thing from beginning to end, because it's not necessarily what you think it's going to be the message, which would be the whole premise of, hey, check out my reading. But no, there's things in between that aren't seen that you will pick up on if you're in tune. Live chat. I can't help relationships because of my job. Oh, can't keep relationships because of your job? Well, I wouldn't blame that. I wouldn't blame your job on not being able to keep relationships. I would blame the people that didn't want to deal with you having overtime. You know what I'm saying? So it's now a compromising thing. It's not your job. I mean, your job is your job. And so whoever's going to accept you for you, they got to accept the fact that you're going to have overtime. And so if they're going to really love you, well, guess what? That's a keeper, because they're going to understand, hey, you got overtime. I'll see you when you get back. I'm saying, not just not be with you because you have that kind of, situation going on. They live within our mind and our spirit, right? The mind is the good memories, of course, right? Even some of the bad memories, we do carry that stuff. right? And then the spirit, to live with your true self, we must learn to control their spirit affect our lives. We can't control their spirits. Mm-mm. You can only control your own. I mean, they try to control the way we do with talking about the music and all that stuff. But as far as ancestors and people in the past, they're there to guide you and to help you. So you can't change nothing about that. You have to let yourself, well, basically control yourself to really either accept it or deny it. Which is that feeling? Okay, well, I feel somebody's watching you. Well, guess what? Probably somebody is. I'm saying it's like that kind of energy that you have to be in tune with to control. That is really all in yourself, and so that falls in line with some of these synchronicities that we look, the numbers and everything that everybody says is a coincidence, but it's really not. Those are those messages that, because in spirit you can't talk, you can't, get that kind of same way that we talk now. So they use different things. Like all of a sudden your pen moves over here like that. What? I've seen it. It's happened to me. Things moved in my life. I'm like, what? That was just there. And what? And so if you pick up on these things, those are those little subtle messages. And so that's some of their ways of communicating with you through physical means on a non-communicational level, like verbally. Well, grief is so tricky. It really is. It's so dang hard because you know why? It hurts. It hurts to lose somebody that you care about. It really does. Because we miss them. We miss the memories. We miss being around them. We miss their energy. We miss their spirit. You know? So when you accept grief and be in that present moment, because when we start thinking about all the times of how we're so sad that we miss people because they're dead, well, you're living in the past. Because you're in some way you're trying to get them back. And you can never get them back in a physical form. So you now have to accept that in this reality, in the present moment. And then what? Honor their spirit, which means you have those good memories. Feel those feelings that you get those tugs with, because it's probably them talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're definitely dedicated to your job for sure. I see that. Yeah. But there will be people in your life that can accept that. You know, I don't know. I'm gonna tell you a little crazy story. I was kind of young. I don't know, maybe like 21. I dated this girl whose family was they were morticians. Crazy enough as it sounds, she was busier than busy, right? But I had to accept who she was and what she was doing for how she is. So she actually invited me to go help her pick up a body. I was like, okay, I'll do it. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't blown away or anything. It was just kind of the procedure that we had to do, and it's just what it was. And if you're an accepting person, you're going to accept people for who they are, their situations, and either you're going to go with it or not. Whether you got time for people or not, you can make time because time is only man-made. See what I'm saying? Well, grief is horrible, and you definitely can let it overrun you. Seriously, grief can take you right over because you're too stuck in the past. I'm telling you, that's just the only way to get over grief is to let go of that past. Not saying let go of that person and those memories, but let go of the loss. It was hard for me to lose my mom and then deal with COVID and then lose my brother right after that. Like, what? I've been in the army. I lost so many friends too. It was just like I lost soldiers that I was in charge of. Like, what? But I had to accept the reality of it for me to be able to deal with the survivor's guilt and let go of the past of knowing that what it is, it is. And honoring that spirit in the sense where, I would still go on their Facebook and give them a shout out on their birthdays because their parents were running their damn Facebook page. It's kind of honoring their spirit. I'm not honoring the dead as in a holiday like we're not supposed to. I'm not idolizing these people. I'm just paying respect to the spirit, their energy, their vibration in the now. Interesting. Time is precious for surely, but money is also, in a way, precious because this is the kind of conformity that we need to live in. You can't really have money and survive, can you? I guess if you're like, a survivor on TV and you're in Guatemala somewhere living in the jungle, you know what I'm saying? Those are the olden days. So maybe we need to go back to some of those olden days. Maybe we need to go back to the idea of losing some of these influences that we have in our lives and getting to the real truth and understanding that the frequencies that we are all bombarded with. Yeah, 5G is cool, right? Oh, yeah, my internet goes faster. That shit's actually destroying us, my friends. It's destroying us. Now, I don't want to really get into the idea of the prick that most people got. But I think those two are one and the same. Because it's made of some metals in there. Some of the ingredients are metals. Metals also have vibrations and frequencies. And so when they turn up the frequency, it affects the prick. That's why people are going cuckoo. And that's why it changes people's bodies' chemistry. That's why it makes people that are healthy and fertile become sterile. It changes your whole body chemistry and your vibration. I'm done with talking about that part. Just telling you. What can I say about twin flames, Frank, huh? Well, Frank, twin flame journey is a pain in the ass. It is. Very pain in the ass. Because, one, not a lot of people get to actually meet their twin flame. For two, if you do, how you know it's your twin flame? It's that instant magnetism. It's like as soon as it's like what they say about love at first sight, right? And you feel that you've known this person your entire life, maybe even past lives, because of the connection is so strong. It's like they like your music, you like their music. They have same mannerisms as you have same mannerisms. They laugh at the things that you laugh at. They like to go to the yard sales like you go to the yard sales. You know what I'm saying? Just all those examples of that synchronicity, that compatibility, that connection. That's a true twin flame. And like I said, not everybody gets to meet their twin flame. And so when then you do, it's such an amazing feeling, but then it can be devastating because people have free will. And so if they don't understand that connection, then they're not going to be with you. And then you're going to have this feeling of this person that was in your life that you knew in your spirit was your actual other half. That's your twin flame. It's your mirrored half. It's your opposite. Everybody has an opposite. Now you can have an opposite, same is in the Zodiac. So when you think about opposites, you think about where the positions are of the Zodiac on that little clock I talk about. So the opposite sign across from you in the Zodiac is your technically twin flame. Your polar opposite. But doesn't mean it's a good twin flame. They could be a villainous person. You're like, oh no, we're not getting together because it's completely opposite from who you are in some senses. If they're exercising their free will and not listening into their spirit. True that. Wow, you guys are talking about some crazy things. Little things go missing right before your eyes, only to learn to stop us from going out from a purpose. And my daughter daughter's teacher came and told us to attend graduation. Wow, fascinating. I kind of, I kind of do believe in reincarnation. I really do. And that reincarnation idea is like the resurrection. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Jesus died and came back, right? That's reincarnation. That's the resurrection, right? So I believe that if you are put on this earth for specific reasons and you don't get to do that reason, and then you die, well, you have to come back and do it again. That's same thing in like smaller example would be a relationship. If you meet a person and let's say you fall in love and then they don't really show you that same kind of way and they're the opposite, so they're hurting you and they're emotionally abusing you, whatever you go through, and then you break up, right? And you haven't healed from that, which means you didn't recognize that person who was trying to rob you of your true self, in a sense. Well, now the next person that's going to come into your life is going to be the same way, just in a different body, teaching you that same lesson. That's the karmic cycle. That is also part of the reincarnation, the resurrection. It's a do-over. It's a chance to really get it right. Because it's all a test in a sense. It's all really a test to really find your true being, trying to find your true spirit, who you really supposed to be are. And people that we come into contact with can sometimes feel that. And they thwart you off your journey on purpose. That's what I call the haters. The haters. Yes, sir. Always trying to throw you off your your path in your journey, right? True story. But yes, it's all very tied in, very similar. Very similar to reincarnation, to past lives, because even if you get your lesson and you do what you're supposed to do here on earth, that's why when people die, they execute what they're supposed to do or their physical body just runs out of time. That's the truth. There. So it's up to us to understand these things. And the Bible has changed so much. I mean, from King James and even back further to some Babylonian times and those people in Rome changed all this because why? They know the truth about who the frig we are really. I'm not sure exactly what Bible verse it is, but Jesus says, if you will the mountains to move, you can move mountains. And that's like a parable, that's like a metaphor, whatever. But you know what? It's like, how are you thinking that we can move a mountain? If you're in your true spirit, you surely can move that mountain. I mean, Jesus walked on water. People seen it. There's no trick. There was no sleight of hand. Some scientist is going to say there was some kind of magic trick to that shit or whatever. It's bull crap because we have the power of manifestation. Manifestation is basically creating your own reality for what you want in your life. And you can't do that if you're clogged with all this other crap because you're not getting to your true self. You're not letting your real spirit be itself to really do its own thing that can really have the magnificent powers that it can do. True story. That's the power of manifestation. That's the power of the law of attraction. It's just that concentration, that meditation, that mindfulness, that focus that you put into yourself to eliminate all these external forces that hold their spirit down. And then when you get into that spirit, you better watch out because you could do some miraculous things, my friends. Okay, this is just a small example how my daughter was talking about her manifestation powers and how she made some shit happen. And she was just so amazed. I said, no, you have the gift, baby. And she has that seclusion. She has that lack of external forces because she doesn't have a ton of friends. She don't give a crap about TV. I'm saying? So when you start eliminating a lot of those things out of your life, well, now you're finding your true spirit, allowing you to be capable of who you were meant to be, like gods. Can't with this. tricky, but it's true. Excuse me. Whoop. We got youngins on the thing, so you know what I mean. Yeah, they know what I'm doing, but you know I don't really want to publicize it. So excuse me. Okay, so let me see what you guys are gabbing about over here. John the Baptist goes walking. Oh, you know, I couldn't tell you right offhand. I mean, you know, when I was a kid, I could just bust out every single Bible verse because I was going since I was 5 in the Baptist church. And it was like, I knew everything, but, you know, I did stop reading the Bible for a while because I had some conflictions of things or whatever. And so, you know, I definitely need to get into practice to having that memorization back. But, you know, did you know John the Baptist was Jesus' cousin? Do you know the way the really true atonement of really being purified is through baptismal, which is really how Jesus was dunked in the water, not this cross on your head or you know what they do in the Rome place or whatever, right? Because when they do the cross on your head, well, then they're initiating you into the other part of that pagan kind of ritual shit. Really is. So being dunked in the water is true. It's true, right? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'm all about research. So if I don't know, I'll pull it right out. You know, I do pull Bible verses because I have to, you know, catch the spirit of what I'm trying to say, and then I'll go and get my facts, and I'll get the Bible, and I'll do all these researches and be able to do it that way. My memory is like kind of getting shot here, like an old dude. Okay, she said that what I just said, our souls outlives our bodies. Of course it does. Our souls are eternal. And the Bible definitely speaks of reincarnation because it, you know, it tells us that Jesus did come back. I mean, even Jesus brought Lazarus back, right? Dude was dead, stone dead. Jesus said, "Wake," and he rose. He's still looking dead, but he was alive. Isn't that amazing? Because why? Why? He reinvigorated the soul. He made that soul come back to life, which is forever eternal. Cleanse by water. That's right. Spiritual healing. Take your spiritual baths, right? You take a bath, you feel so relaxed. You go swimming, you feel so relaxed. Water does way more than just hydrate you. It really does things on a cellular level. It puts you back into your frequency because why? Water is part of Earth, and Earth's natural frequency of 4.32 hertz. So that's why you feel good when you take a shower. You feel so relaxed, and you feel so at ease, and the whole day's stress is gone, right? It's because you're getting back into tune. Tune for sure. Learning stuff is perfect. Amen. And learning is power, knowledge is power. So that's kind of why I'm here to teach you guys not only about yourself, right? But to teach you some things that I know. So then we can spread it to other people that don't know and then make this place a whole better place for everybody. Truly that. It's true. Like these holidays, we got to get rid of the calendar. Sorry, people. I'm sorry about Martin Luther King. You know, he was a great guy, but you know what? He's still cheating on his wife. So does that make him really a great guy? Just because he was like the black guy trying to really make what? Rights for everybody to be equal? Of course, that's a great idea. But should we be like idolizing him? Sorry, Martin Luther King Day. Sorry, Abraham Lincoln Day. Sorry. You want to talk about Valentine's Day? I just looked that shit up yesterday, man. It's so bogus. It's celebrating another saint, Saint Valentine, who was a martyr who got killed because he was trying to what? Teach the Christian way. So those people in Rome killed him. Because the Christian way is the Jesus way, and the Jesus way is finding your true self, finding your true spirit, finding your inner God to be who you're really supposed to be. to move those mountains when you want to move those mountains. I'm telling you, some big trouble talking here. Because it goes against every single thing that we all believe in. I mean, good thing my kids are old enough now, but I would definitely be like, now that I know this about Halloween, you're not celebrating Halloween. And shame on me for saying, okay, well, we're going to celebrate Christmas, so I'm going to get you presents from the fat guy in the red suit, but I say happy birthday to Jesus. I did my research. There's no day of December 25th being Jesus' birthday, so shame on me for knowing that. I was ignorant and celebrating the idea, but like I said, for the past 7 years, I have not celebrated Christmas, nor my own birthday. Why? I don't know why. I just had this pull to not do these things because I started decluttering myself of the things that are the influence of my life. TV, music, friends, especially friends, even the foods I eat. Changes my whole perspective, my whole mentality. And that's why I'm able to really shine in the gifts that I have, is because I've eliminated those things in my life to become my true spirit. I still have work to do. You know what I'm saying? Amen. Okay, Solomon, you have encountered this. Okay, so your twin flame is a cusp, so Libra Scorpio cusp, and you stop communicating and to openly accept if he is really meant for me and surrender to God. Right. Well, that's truly pretty true. Bag of candy, make some nachos. I hear you. It's hard to tell these kids these things like this, but slowly we can integrate this stuff. We really can. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And then once it's accepted on a whole and then we can make it norm, then we're going to change things. Because I'm sure there's like 50 million kids that don't want to get rid of Christmas. True that. I hear you, Libra Scorpios. I was checking out some of the analytics on the videos, and oh my God, Libra just takes the cake, whether it's just straight Libra or Virgo Libra or Libra Scorpio. Like those are the most readings. I mean, you put on YouTube, it's all Libra, like this, what I mean? Some people do a lot of other signs, but the majority is that. That's kind of amazing, isn't it? What does really Libra represent? The scales of justice, balance, truth, the law. Kind of interesting, isn't it? So back to Solomon. Solomon, you're correct. Like, it is a way of accepting God to surrender, but you know what? It's the free will. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. And that's what makes that twin flame so tough in the journey. Because you feel that spirit, you feel the connection, you feel that magnetism. Oh, Aries Taurus. Ooh, how you doing over there? So yeah, the twin flame is a difficult journey, especially when you have that connection and you feel that power and you know that this is your person because you just feel it. There is nothing in the world that can tell you that it's not, because everything is telling you that it is. And that's how you know, but it's from within inside. Oh, great. I mean, I think Libras are amazing. I think everybody's amazing, but it's just this particular sign in some weird way, because we're in the age of Aquarius, which is humanitarianism and, kindness and all this other stuff. Libra kind of embodies all that. Libra is the Empress, which is nurturing and giving and motherly and the Mother Earth. I mean, it's represented by Libra and shared with Taurus, but just for the Empress. But really, the balance, the scales of justice. And this is what that I think we're really in those times of justice and equality, and the right thing is the right way. Like I'm telling you, like, what is Halloween? Like, are we really understanding Halloween until I present it to you? How many of a raise of hands want to really go celebrate Halloween now? Probably a whole lot of people. Because then now you're going to accept the practice of this pagan ritual. And we have been following these pagan rituals for such a long time. And we wonder why our society is going down the drain. It truly is. How you doing? You guys are fantastic. I love when you guys just talk to yourselves and you share your stories together. It's so fantastic. Well, that's so true, Sierra. So true. And here's another thing about Libras. Libras are the only sign that can embody, which means take on any other sign. So a Libra can transmute its own energy into be a Cancer or a Virgo or a Scorpio. They really can, because they have that ability to balance. So they can balance their own way, but then kind of morph into another way of a different sign. It's kind of true. It's a lot of research to get into that, and I've already done a lot of it because I am myself a Libra. Every day is Christmas. That is right. Every day is Christmas. We should be celebrating our lives every day, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, and giving our thanks for that day. I do it every morning. I thank you for my breath. I thank you for all the things I got in my life. And that's why I can be on the path that I'm on, because I'm grateful. Not only for the things in my life, the lessons I've learned, the knowledge that I have, but for the people that come into my life that are drawn to my life. And we share these experiences through these kind of communications and these kind of knowledge. Light bringers, truth seekers, healers. We all have this ability, but you can't get to it until you clear out all the clutter. Here you Eminem cleaning out your closet. That killed me. Karma chameleon. That's right, because Libras are karma. I mean, they are. It's the law, justice. See, scales of justice. That's karma. So for those that want to do wrong to a Libra, you better really do your research, because why? You'll get instant karma. If it's unjust. If a Libra has nothing in your life that affects your life, to mess up your life, and you come against a Libra, well, I'm sorry for your loss. True that. Especially one that's high vibing in their spirit, Libra. Oh, Sagittarius, Capricorn. Yes. And that's why you're so about work, my friend. Yeah. That's why, you know what? I'd rather give people my money than my time, because your time is precious. For surely it is. That is your struggle. That is like a Gemini, because the Sagittarius has that same kind of demeanor as a Capricorn. And so, you know, a lot of kind of fire going on there, right? Even though you got the Earth sign as Capricorn, it's very tricky. It's very tricky. And you have very kind of solid beliefs on what you see is what you want. And sometimes really hard to flex on a damn Sagittarius, Capricorn, or either. And that kind of does make them like that Gemini, where the twins. And so they battle their duality within themselves. So they're always battling their emotions and their mind. And so they have that play all the time. And it's kind of hard to find the balance. It really is. Libra, Scorpio. Yay, it's a ride in this atmosphere. Peace. But you know what? Don't forget. Libra, Scorpio. You got to be careful with that Scorpio, because that Scorpio has what? The stinger on the tail, right? So it's like you're a nice person, you're easygoing, you're very peaceful, until someone keeps stepping on your neck, and then now here comes that scorpion tail. Whack! So sometimes you can blow up like a nuclear bomb real quick. Just saying. The cusp of power. I hear you, Aries. You feisty thing, you know. But then you also have that groundedness as the Taurus. So that's why you have a big family, because you're all about family. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand these ways, like we're trying to do now, as far as what an Aries and what a Taurus is, or what a Libra and a Scorpio is. When you put those two things together, you definitely know who the hell you are. And that's why I really believe that these cusps are so important, because that duality. I mean, not only you have the masculine, feminine, light, and dark side about yourself, we all do, trying to put that together as one, become that one spirit we're supposed to be. But now we have to deal with two signs. So why am I so happy one day and cranky the next day? Well, because I'm a Libra Scorpio. Just saying, I'm not really not, but you know what I'm saying? That's that kind of inference. And so when you digest the idea of what the characteristics are of a Libra and what the characteristics are of a Scorpio, well, now you can put your life together a little bit better. Then you can handle situations, people, things in a better manner, because now you're understanding that duality even deeper, if that makes any sense. It surely does. Always right on the edge. Yes. Here you're living on the edge, Aerosmith. Yeah. But Sagittarius are very giving, they're loving and all this, but sometimes they have an ulterior motive. They have a meaning, they have a very kind of specific purpose, and sometimes they're really driven in that Capricorn energy, driven to get what they want. And sometimes when they get what they want, well, then they just, they're done. They got what they wanted. Sometimes they use a little bit of tactics to get that. Unfortunately, that's kind of what it is. But that's so funny, because the patience, Shiloh, is your Taurus side. That's the Taurus side. Patient, very grounded, very stable. This is a Taurus. But now you pull Aries out. Well, here you center stage. Here you a little impulsive. Here you very driven. So when you find that balance, now you can get better into, right? So you have to find that division of how to be assertive, but then being grounded in that assertiveness. How do you do that? By getting in touch with it all. Love, stability, warmth, real love, unconditional love. Yeah. Yeah. I can believe that. Same as the Libra. They're definitely the balance, and they do portray that unconditional as well. The dark one whom protects God. Oh, that's very interesting. I never really got into, understanding people's names like that, but that's a very interesting statement there. I do read books. I do read books. Um, I have read a lot of stuff online as far as trying to get the pinpoint, precise idea of how to interpret what cusps mean for y'all to understand that. You know what I'm saying? And so, suggestions I really don't have um, for that. I mean, there's a ton of information out there to get into it, but I do read books. I do read a lot of, like, some of the Dalai Lama, some things like that, to really get into understanding the balance of things, right? Which is really an internal kind of thing. And this is the main book that I read, even though I kind of don't understand the idea of the NIV part, which is the Bible being changed. But it doesn't mean everything in here is wrong. Some of it's just been taken out, altered in a way where we don't get the whole truth. So not necessarily this whole thing is wrong. It's just been changed a little bit. Oh, let me see. Let me go take a peek real quick. I got some books over here. Let me just go check, because you mentioned it. I'll be right back. Okay, well, it's not metaphysical books and all these other kind of things like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's more like real life stuff, right? Real people and some of the things that they go through to really help me find out how life is and what it's all about. So I know this is going to be crazy, right? But check this book out, right? Tom Brady, right? Okay, just say his ego, right? Whatever, blah, 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 blah. But chill out, okay? His book is amazing. Why? Because Tom Brady is like into his game. So, I mean, this dude's like 42 years old. He's just retired, but he came back out of retirement. Why? Because his body is like a 20-year-old. Because he goes and explains the nutrition that he does. He does not eat anything white, milk, flour, anything. No. Why? Because it's bad for you. He also talks about some of the exercises and some of the mental exercises that he uses. So, fantastic book all around to get a better idea of how to approach life to really cleanse yourself. The toxins that we eat. I mean, I don't know about making an avocado ice cream. Like, he makes ice cream out of avocados because it doesn't use dairy. What? Who doesn't drink milk? Well, this guy doesn't. And when you don't drink milk, you're going to see the difference. So that is a very kind of, fantastic idea. Then relationship book about his needs, her needs. It's all about kind of reality things, right? But this book here, it's called Afraid to Trust. You might be able to find it on Amazon. I don't really know. But when I went across country, I was in Tennessee. Okay. So I went into this restaurant and I was going to go get something to eat. So I sat down and it was a good wait. It was like, okay, we got like a 40-minute wait. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to wait 40 minutes, but I will because I'm not going to go eat at Taco Bell or whatever bullshit's on these corners that you guys have to offer. So I'm going to wait. And I waited, right? So there's like this TV on the thing and they were showing all like the, the waiters and even the owner and all these other people that were in part of the restaurant, like their family thing, right? And so this book popped up in the thing. And I was like, I got to get that book. This is what my spirit was telling me. I got to get this book. So they finally sat me down. I was like, okay, I'll have this. Give me something to drink. And I want to buy this book. So the waiter's like, oh, you want the owner's book? I was like, hell yeah. Because I felt this draw to get the book. Okay. So then when I got the book, it's called A Man's Journey into the Love of God, Afraid to Trust. Okay. So this guy, he starts talking about his life and all the stuff that he was going through in his marriage, with his family, trying to run his business, and it was all collapsing. But then one day he just had this revelation and he had the Spirit of God come into him. And when he trusted that spirit in God to know the direction, which means he was letting his internal forces guide him in his life. So then he stopped doing all these other things that he did to ruin his life, like cheat on his wife, talk trash to his kids, ruin his own business because he was in his ego and he wasn't really following his own spirit. I only read like 4 pages of this book while I'm eating my dinner in a full restaurant in a state I never even been in, and I started bawling my eyes out. This was just last summer. I mean, I was crying like a baby because I felt this guy's spirit and how he was able to pull the demons out of him and then follow his true spirit. Now he's as one of the most successful businesses in the state. And I was like amazed. I was like, what? So we need people to have their truths be shown so that other people can really go off that and see some different way and learn a different idea how to bring themselves into their own truths. Like Tom Brady, not eating dairy. What? What is even avocado ice cream? But I made it one day and it's fantastic. I stopped eating spaghetti with the starch and all the flour, because it has bleach in it. What? That's not good for us. So in his recipes, it's like he uses chickpea spaghetti. I'm like, that's got to be bogus. Even though I like hummus, it's got to be bogus. But I made a recipe. It was fantastic. And I felt so like energized. I was like, wow, I don't feel weighed down. I don't feel sluggish. I don't feel mentally incapacitated. Because the nutrients that was in there was just natural from out there. And that's what we're supposed to have in us to really be in sync and in tune with what we are supposed to be like. Just saying. Tennessee, yeah. It's a little muggy state out there for sure, man. I was like, what? And then the people driving amazingly, like, I don't know. I mean, I lived in Boston. These people will drive up and down one ways all day long, bumper to bumper, screaming their heads off, honking the horns, all this crazy stuff. But Tennessee, I don't know. I don't know. Like, wah, 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 wah. Doing like 80 and a 40. It's like, what are you doing? I almost got in a wreck. Somebody almost clipped my tail end of my Ranger, and they kind of bounced off the Jersey Bears because they tried to cut in between me and the fast lane. I was like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. Yeah, because I went across country for my daughter's graduation in Massachusetts, and I took my 2 dogs. So it was just me and my dogs. It was an amazing journey. I thought they were going to give me so much hard time. Oh, spaghetti squash? Hell yeah. Lasagna too. You know what I mean? So it's that idea of taking these other people's knowledges and using them for myself. So, I could do philosophy and I could read other books, like I said, Buddha and, the Dalai Lama and things like that, to get a better insight of the philosophy of things and understand maybe a little better on the metaphysical, right? But I really don't go off that way because I go with what's being guided in myself. Okay, I'll let that be. I'll try to let my spirit be itself and show itself, right? Yeah, it's kind of hard to go across country now with the damn gas prices. You know what I'm saying? According to the research, that they are not compatible Libra and Scorpio, but I'll go for it even there are risks. Well, yeah, because Libras are so bubbly and so joyful, right? And you could see the smile on the face. But a Scorpio, they have this look like, and you're like, what's wrong with you? Are you happy? It's like, oh yeah, I'm happy. I'm smiling. Like, what? You look like you're like ready to murder somebody. So definitely research about, the different signs and compatibilities, because that's really going to help you or hinder you on your progression with or without this person. Right. They have a lot of similarities. They do conflict on some things, but I mean, it depends on where you want to lay on your idea of this person. So some people just basically go off of, well, I'm not going to really understand their attitude because I'm really worried about how they're going to manage their finances, right? And so if you're in that singular mode, well, then you're going to miss some of the other their traits that they carry, and then that could be some of the problem, like communication. I'm just saying. Rice cauliflower. Yeah, I mean, the cauliflower pizza. Like, whoever thought of making pizza crust out of cauliflower? Sounds disgusting. But it's really good for you. And that really good for you is like what they swerve us from. Why? Because they don't want us to be who we're really supposed to be. So when you pump yourself full of this nutrition that's really meant for us, do I believe in the devil? Oh, I do. You got to know the devil to be able to fight the devil. True that. The devil is real. But it's a little misinterpretation on the devil and how he works. The devil can't physically touch you. Not allowed to. So what does he do? He works in your mind. That's what we call, my friends, ego. That's that other voice inside of you when you say, maybe I shouldn't go to this place because something bad might happen. That's your real spirit telling you what is the answer. So then you're like, it's not going to be that bad. And you go in that place and something bad happens and you're like, I knew it. I should have done it. And so that other part that led you to go do that was, in a sense, the devil. that spirit embodiment, because he works that way, drives you away from your journey, away from your true spirit, away from what's supposed to be right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you definitely should believe in the devil, because he is real. I mean, he was like God's like best, brightest, beautiful angel, but he had his ego. He wanted to be better than God. And so God was like, we ain't having that. See you later. You can go down there and see if you can do your own thing. And I'll give you a whole bunch of time to do it. But see, the devil can't work without God. He has to ask permission, because who runs everything? God. Take the story of Job. The devil was like, you know what? I don't think this guy Job is all that cracked up to what he says to be as far as how much he loves you, God. And God said, well, yeah, prove me wrong. You can do anything to Job, but don't kill him. You're not allowed to kill him. You can do anything else to Job, but don't kill him. So the devil's like, oh, yeah, watch this. I'm going to break Job's faith from loving you, God. And here it goes. Job's whole family got killed. Job was a very well-off man. He had a lot of cattle and things like this, and so all that got taken away from him. He was even inflicted with like these sores and boils and all that stuff on his body, and Job was crying out to God, why is this being happening to me? I am a man of your, I'm your servant. I'm never breaking in my faith. And so the devil kept working on Job, taking away things, making him lose things in his life, like family, friends, everything that really society we live in was taken away from this guy. And never once did he crack. So then the competition, we could say, was over. So that's enough. You can't crack him. He's never going to break. He's never going to leave his faith of me and my love. So guess what? Now everything hit back to Job. Job even had more cattle. All the boils and all whatever was going on with him just was gone. And now he was actually better than what he was when he first started this whole thing with this little trick of the devil trying to sway Job from his faith of God. Job never wavered. Beets are a superfood. Beets are a superfood. Hell to the yeah. Same with blueberries. Antioxidants. Everything, right? So you guys are on the right track. Nutrition is very important because it does have a huge effect on our spirits. It really does. And, the organic stuff, this is how twisted the world is, right? When they say, oh, you got to eat organic, but they charge more for organic. Well, organic is just natural, right? There's no pesticides. There's no chemicals. There's no nothing. It's like picking something right out of the ground, eating it. That's organic. But they're going to charge you more for that just because it's the word organic. You can't with that. So stupid. I'm saying. So stupid. But that's the trick. That's all that trick. Trick or treat. I'm saying. That's crazy. So yes, do some research. Find out some of these ways of changing your diet. I promise you. Like, I've done it. I mean, I feel so amazing when I don't have some of the things that I've eaten to now some of the things that I do eat. And I can see that difference and compare not only my physical sense of being more, not so, I wouldn't say bloated, but, a lot of things have changed. BMI, all these other things. My body's running more efficiently than it had before on the past foods that I was eating. Now we're going to talk about mind power. It's an amazing difference. Amazing difference when you change your nutritional diet to not eat this processed foods and a lot of things that burden us down to make us run like the fine-tuned machines that we are made. Seriously, especially with the mind. I'm telling you, the cognitive change is phenomenal. from letting go of all the traditional foods we eat, the overeating that we do. I mean, they are just steady trying to bury us in every means possible. Look at the food pyramid. You see how much food we're supposed to be eating? No way. And you wonder why people got colon problems and cholesterol problems and all these things, because your body can't process it efficiently, fast enough, wasting a lot. Especially, it's taking away from your mind when your body, let's just say in comparison to from eating a steak to eating some salad, right? You eat a salad, boom, your body sucks that up real super fast. And it does not take a lot of your body to use its energy to digest it. But when you eat a steak, it takes a long time for that digestive system to work and break down that meat, that fat. It takes a long time, hours, which interferes now with your mental process because you're not running efficient. Your body is all concentrating on trying to digest the steak. That's why you feel so full and sluggish, because your body's in overdrive trying to work it out. Swear to God. So crazy. Now, I'm getting hungry too. It's about breakfast time. I'm for sure with that. Chi is good. The all those seeds, T-bone steak will make you definitely sleepy, but I'm in Texas, so I love the ribeyes. Why? And the ribeyes are full of that fat. Best steak ever, especially with a little salt, pepper, and just butter. What? Fantastic. But it's really not good for you. It's really not. So think about those things when we got to really find out who we are and how we got to fine tune ourselves. Not only with the vibrations, eliminating all this extra clogging stuff that we go through with the weight of the world sitting on our shoulders and holding us down. Chicken, though. Try to stay away from the chicken. Just saying. Super clone food, GMOs. Nope, no siree, Bob. I mean, I do eat fish. You know what I'm saying? I try to eat some meat, right? I'm lean, right? Long and lean and meat, right? I don't need to be this big, bulky dude that can't even scratch his back. You know what I'm saying? Because then it won't feel like, healthy. Even though they say workout is healthy, it's really not. I'll give you another example, right? So when you actually work out, right, and you're pumping weights and even you're running, right, what you're actually doing is you're increasing your blood flow, obviously, right? So when you increase your blood flow to your veins, right, your veins actually swell to the max capacity because your heart's pumping, boom, 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 boom. So there's a steady, constant flow of that maximum flow of your blood. So then when you stop working out, you stop running, your heart slows down, the amount of blood that is pumping through your veins to get to your muscles to make them work now go down because they swell and they shrink. They swell and they shrink. Just like your car tires on your vehicle when it's cold out. The rubber shrinks, so then you have low tire pressure. Now in the summertime, it gets hot, they swell, now you have more tire pressure. Like, oh my God, am I getting a flat tire? No, it's just the temperature change. Same thing with our bodies. The flow of blood changes. So when we work out, it swells. When we stop working out, it goes back to normal. So actually, that fluctuation is not good for you at all. You ever heard of people that are marathon runners and they're lean and nutrition's great and they can run 23 miles in like 5 minutes? Whatever. I'm saying it's an exaggeration, but you ever heard of those joggers that just collapse and they die of a heart attack from running, but they're a runner? It's a true story. Why? It's because, like I just said, when you work out, your blood flow increases, so then your veins swell. When you stop working out, your blood flow decreases, goes back to normal. So it's this fluctuation. Over time, what are you doing? You're actually stressing out your veins. You're wearing them out. So on that last time you work out, God forbid, not saying you guys, but it's happened in the past with other people that once it gets to that swelling during their exercise and they stop, their vein goes back to normal. But because it's been so stretched out over those 23 years of being a marathon runner, well, now it collapses on itself. The vein will actually collapse, and then now you don't get blood to where it's supposed to go. And this is how some people have a heart attack. So when they say working out is good for you, well, let's fine tune that. It depends on how much exercise you're really going to do. So going for walks in nature, being active. You don't have to lift weights and go run marathons to be healthy. Just stay active. Getting that blood flow on a constant, regular basis is the healthy part. Told you I'm full of these little weird interesting factoids. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Water of the knee. Oh, my goodness. We're talking about a whole bunch of crap. Yeah. I have 3 blown discs in my back. My bilateral tendons on my knees, inside and out, are blown. I have a major hernia. I had 2 shoulder surgeries from wearing all the military gear and all that weight. Crushed my shoulder bone, so there was actually no separation between the joint in my arm to my collarbone. So every time I lift it up, it would create bone spurs, and really that shit hurts. So they had to go in surgery, rip that open like friggin', and then cut away to give me some space. So I understand about you guys' pains and stuff, right? I really do. But when you stay active, when you change your nutrition, right? Those 2 things definitely help you in a magnificent way that no medicine can do. I have 3 blown discs right now. It's crazy how I used to be in so much pain, hurting every day of my life. I actually had to even go get an epidural, a nerve block, and they wouldn't let me take the baby home. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, they blocked the pain so I can function. A disability that I got from the service. But nonetheless, once I changed my mindset, changed my routine, stayed active, but definitely changed my nutrition, my back hasn't hurt for like almost a year. True story. Sleep is surely, degenerative disc disease, right? Hear you. I hear you. Slip discs or blown discs or bulging discs are not fun to deal with. Really not. Sleep is very important, though. You should get the maximum amount of sleep as possible. Go to bed early. Do not turn on your TV. Put your phone at least 3 feet away from you. Try to sleep as long as you can. Because during that time when you sleep, it's like we're Wolverines. We regenerate ourselves. I mean, think about when you get a cut. What happens? It starts to heal. You get a scab. The scab goes away. Now your skin's back to normal. You might have a scar, but still, you regenerate yourself. Same idea when you sleep. That is why when your children are young, they say, let them get sleep. Let them sleep. Let them sleep. Why? Because they regenerate their bodies, their cells, and their organs all have different time frames, different slotted times to do their jobs, which is regenerate themselves. Like your liver. I'm not sure exact time, but it's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. You're supposed to be sleeping. Now your liver is purging all the toxins from itself, basically regenerating itself back into the normal liver it's supposed to be without any of that stuff. And so when we don't sleep, your body can't do these things. And so now your whole rhythm is off. That's why you wake up cranky, agitated, all these things, because you're throwing off your circadian rhythm and your natural way of regenerating itself in the superpowers that our body is. It's amazing. The intricacy of our body is just crazy. Crazy. I think I'll get into another video about that kind of stuff. Because if you look at the nervous system and all the nerves that we have, in some weird way, my friends, it looks like the damn tree of life. I'm Just going to tell you that right now. If you break down the anatomy and you look at the nervous system, the way it all spreads out like that and this and that, it really looks like the tree of life. So I think I'll make another video of that for surely. Yes. Petra rocks, my friends. Petra rocks. I suggest people get their crystals. Why? It helps absorb some of the negative vibrations that are in our world. True story. I did a little segment on the whole quartz crystal in your watch. Vibrates. It actually makes your watch work. Same as the computers. Crystal chips in that shit. It all works. It's true. So look up your signs, because every sign has specific crystals that is tailored for you. So investigate that. Get those crystals. I mean, there are other crystals that you don't have to really, not get, but there are other ones that don't really go with your sign, and you should get those too. Like, I have, what is this? Terramite. Look at this thing. Looks like a meteor. Right? But the vibration of this is different to this. And so this is more of a super kind of crystal because it offers protection. Right? And the protection of really deflecting negative energy. This one's my sponge. This one absorbs energy. This deflects, this absorbs. It all has a different meaning because it all has a different vibration. Okay? So, we wear our crystals, right? We wear our crystals for certain reasons, to give certain vibrational energies. It's very important to understand these things. You see how that's kind of see-through, but not really? See how it's a little cloudy, right? Because that cloudiness, my friends, is the information that this crystal had absorbed. So I have to cleanse it. And, there's only certain ways to cleanse them. And you would take this in a stream of running water, preferably natural, wash it. That's cleansing it, right? So then once it's cleansed, it's basically ready to be recharged, which means you're going to put more information into it. So you take the crystal, and I like to do this under the full moon. So I take all my crystals. And so once they're cleansed, now they're ready to be recharged. So it's kind of like your cell phone data, right? You take a whole bunch of pictures. Now your storage is full. What do? You got to delete some pictures to be able to put more pictures on. Same idea. So the charging is under the full moonlight. And then you have your intention. So for this crystal, I have certain intentions. So I would say an intention to this crystal, which is putting the information into the crystal. And so now, once it's cleansed and now it's charged, I set the intention. Now every time this thing is going to work off that intention. Because it really gets clear once I clean it and recharge it. Because I've seen it happen several times where this thing isn't so cloudy. And it's so crystal clear you can see right through it. But this is kind of getting clogged because I have an intention of being it on top of my tarot decks to set the intention for the readings as a whole. Study that stuff, my friends. It's true stuff. True stuff. Well, chick, I would love to help everybody out as I do, and kind of holding your hand is what I do in certain instances, right? So trusting people who sell crystals, it doesn't matter. You just get the crystal anyways, right? And so even if they had put their own different intent into that crystal before you bought it, it doesn't matter because you're going to go and cleanse it, you're going to go charge it, and you're going to go reset the information in it. So it really doesn't matter where you buy your crystals or who you buy it from. But immediately you want to start taking this action. You want to cleanse them. You want to get them all, intentionalized, right? And set the vibration. Sea salt, Charge of the moon. Amen. Full moon. Full moon. But you definitely have to clean them first. Sea salt does work. Like I said, running them in the stream, a natural stream, because it's that natural vibration. And that's kind of the process of being able to clean. You just can't spray down some Kleenex and wipe it down, because that's not really how you do it. Right. You might go girls gotta go potties. Oh no, drank the moon water. So now you got a moon child, huh? That's hilarious. I know you gotta go potty. Look at my dog. Look at she wants to go potty. Where'd she go? She ran away. Okay, hold on, baby girl. Yeah. Right. But I mean, those that know, they understand, right? These crystals are real, the energies are real, the vibrations are real, the food we real. Just the matrix we're living is not real. The TV, the music, all this stuff is just a distraction to get us away from who we're really supposed to be. So you guys are fantastic. You guys are amazing. Amazon, when we talk about Amazon. Right. For Shirley. Like I even told my daughter. She's all about the crystals. She's my youngest. She's the one with that brain power manifesting. I was blown away when she told me this yesterday. But she knows the deal. She knows to get her crystals. She knows to cleanse them. She knows to charge them, set her intentions, and keeps them on her, keeps them around her, because it really is. It is the truth. I mean, this stuff is ancient. I mean, this stuff is ancient knowledge. I mean, the pyramids are made out of granite. Granite has very specific properties, my friend. Same with quartz. It's very conductive for electromagnetism. You know, it's amazing that the stuff that we don't know that we do know, but they try to hide us on it. And some of those people that try to bring it out, those are some of the people that get suppressed. But the truth will always be told. So you know what? Try to suppress this person, even myself. The haters, and they try to cut my stuff off or whatever, but I'm still going to fight it and come back, because you know why? I know the truth, and the truth has to be told. And you guys are now living in your truths. Pet rock. See, I do. This is my pet rock. This is my SpongeBob, right? So this sucker, when I'm talking with you guys, and I know, like the last live I did, we had that punk come up in here talking some trash like he did. It's disgusting. But by the way, there was another person in the reading that said, you know what? After the reading, when I blocked that person from their nastiness, their perversion of little kids and stuff, you always remember that. Well, this other person messaged me on Facebook and said, guess what? I called the cops on that punk ass. And I was like, yay, man, you guys are amazing. I can't believe you did that. She was like, yeah. So she thought I blocked her. And I was like, no, why would I block you? You're on my team. And so she's like, well, people mirror your account and then try to do their shady shit to make it look like you. And I was like, I know this already. I've been dealing with this for a long time. And she is apparently too. So that's why she was like helping out on the team to bring that truth to that nasty pedophile that was up in the here the other day. Disgusting. She called the cops. So they're about to get his ass. Amen. You could be a kid again all day long. You can. That's the secret. The secret to a good, fulfilling life is go back to being a kid. That's why I play my music. I dance around. I have a silly personality. You know, I look like I'm carefree and careless and all this because I get into my childness, the innocence, the joyfulness, the happiness, the peacefulness, the not conforming to the bounding ways that we have to live in. And that helps you get into your true self or your spirit when you could act like a kid again. So go to the playground, get on those swings, feel that energy, because you're going to bring your spirit right out and you'll find your true selves real quick. Promise you that. Well, it's been great, my friends. My poor dog is suffering. She needs to go do her thing, you know what I'm saying? But I really am grateful that I got to share these 2 hours and 8 minutes and 57 seconds with y'all. Caring is sharing, knowledge is power, and you guys are definitely all in that tune. So take some of my advice, listen to some of the things that I did, you know, whether some people agree or not, but it seems like everybody here does agree. So go find your pet rock. Go outside and play. Have yourself a great day, my friends. I will definitely see you later. Thanks for coming around, supporting the channel. Noobs, please subscribe. Okay? I need you subscribing. Okay? Hit that like button. Join the family. Become part of the Divine Squad because we're an amazing group of people over here. So the more the merrier. Get out there and have some fun. Enjoy your day. Be safe. See you again. Peace and pain, my friends.